Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and wait until you hear the money clip. This is like fire. I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Now, so I want to remind everybody, today's the last day. Brad Combs told me XRP Las Vegas VIP is selling out, and so today he's shutting the doors on the VIP tickets, and today will be the last day. If you're in my DAIXRP.com group, I already posted the discount link in there, so it's in there. And then if you're not in the group, you can go in the description of this video. I've got links to go get tickets. It's just not the discount. So that's happening. There's only 66 days, 11 hours, 33 minutes, 1 second, 0 seconds now. Chris Giancarlo, who's going to be at XRP Las Vegas, tweeted this today. Just finished reading Food Stamp Warrior by John Deaton. Amazing story of human courage and determination, inspiring and uplifting. Couldn't be put the book down. Now this right here, just as a reminder, Giancarlo is also going to be at the Chamber of Digital Commerce private dinner. That's like a satellite event that's going to be at XRP Las Vegas. You can sign up for that from XRPLasVegas.com, even though it's a separate event. But and I think I can't remember what they are, how much the plates cost, but it's going to be like a small private dinner, and these people are going to be there: Brad Garlinghouse, John Deaton, Mike Larrington, Chris Giancarlo, and Eleanor Terrett. All right, check this out. Stephen Narioff today. Jacob Rothschild passed away. He led the Rothschild family among the most influential families globally. Many claim and credit them with establishing and maintaining control of the world banking system, aiding in an establishment of Israel, and funding nearly every major war. If true, with such a significant figure now absent from the shadows, what does the future hold for us? I wanted to remind everybody at this time, this is a Bull Diep tweet from back February 24th, 2019. Rothschild family has some of their holdings in SBI. Remember, SBI Holdings owns 10+% of Ripple, and this was in the Rothschild family, I think it's their family office, maybe. It was in their holdings. SBI Holdings. The underlying equity rallied 60%. The period of the company was caught up in the optimism surrounding cryptocurrencies. SBI owns 8.7% stake in Ripple's XRP. So they own like 10 plus, I think, in the equity, which I guess means 8.7% in the XRP itself. With volatility in the underlying equity rising, the company's 2017 CB converted. The CB's also richened strongly. What is this page? There it is. SBI Holdings. Rothschild are the owners. Check this out. Cointelegraph. MicroStrategy. I told you they just bought. This guy, this Bloomberg analyst, is predicting that Bitcoin ETFs could surpass gold ETFs in assets under management within 2 years. Now, I can't remember if I played you this or not before, but this is Anthony Scaramucci, and he's talking to Scott Melker. I don't remember his handle name, but anyway, they're talking about BlackRock and Robbie Mitchnick. And remember, Robbie Mitchnick left BlackRock in, I think it was 2018, he left Ripple to go to BlackRock. What's amazing is nobody will ever even reference Robbie Mitchnick having been at Ripple. Anthony Scaramucci will never even say the word Ripple or XRP, just like all these other guys. Then I'm going to go and show you the money clip, and that is, Robbie Mitchnick has not said much of anything since he went to BlackRock. He hasn't said much of anything, but since these ETFs came out, he started talking a little bit. Well, I went back and found a clip from the BlackRock podcast. You can't listen to this thing without hearing XRP. And what I have find fascinating is, and what makes me most bullish about XRP is that they will not say it. They will not say the word Ripple, and they will not say the word XRP no matter what. They'll say Bitcoin all day, but these guys aren't dumb. They know Bitcoin is not going to be the internet of value. It may move on the ledger, but it is not going to be the internet of value. There's another that's going to be that, and he knows it. Listen to what Scaramucci says about Robbie Mitchnick.
Robbie Mitchnick at BlackRock. He's a young kid. He came into BlackRock with the idea of creating a Bitcoin ETF. He orange pilled Larry. And I'm going to give Larry...
Let me translate. Larry already got XRP. He had to sell him on Bitcoin.
A lot of credit because Larry actually did the homework. Larry did the reversal. Larry was on the road to Damascus and converted as a result of being steeped in understanding exactly what it was and why it will be an international store of value. It takes a very smart leader to pridefully say that Bitcoin sucks, and then 24 months later say, you know what, I've got this wrong. BlackRock needs to be a part of this, and BlackRock needs to have a significant stake in it. So, and he has said two things that you should pay attention to if you're an investor here. Number one, it's a store of value. And number two, it represents a flight to quality, Scott. I want you to think about that. Okay, this asset has experienced 100 vols. Okay, it's gone from 80 to...
All right, enough of that. Now it's time to put your children to bed. The kids, the green candle chasers, the people that are worried about the latest flavor of the month token, all of which have no legal regulatory clarity, by the way. I need to keep pointing that out. It's time to put the kids to bed and give them their night-night, put them in beddy by time, and let's show them what the adults are talking about. Because this enter XRP stage right, and I love the fact that they will not say it, because the fact that they will not say it is everything, folks. Listen to Robbie Mitchnick right here. And remember, not only did he come from Ripple, he's the only person from Ripple who has done an XRP valuation, and he did it with Susan Athey, okay? And I said he left Ripple, dispatched from Ripple, ? I always question. When people leave Ripple, I believe that there are more of them that are being dispatched to places where they can help grow the XRP ecosystem than being fired. None of them are really being fired, but they're leaving. Okay? Now listen to what he says. This is the adults talking.
Terminology.
And they, trust you me, they are throwing Bitcoin out to the herds. That's what it's for.
That we use. We talk about digital assets. There's blockchain, there's crypto, there's Bitcoin, and I've needed to listen to a few of these conversations to make sense of how this all comes together. Robbie, maybe I could start with you. Help us make sense of some of these concepts.
Sure. Digital assets as the starting point is the umbrella term for this space. And everything in digital assets is enabled by blockchain as the underlying technology. So when we think about digital assets, I think the best way to think of its significance is with an analogy to the internet. That is that digital assets through blockchain makes possible for the movement of value what the internet did for the movement of data multiple decades ago. A global, decentralized, accessible, real-time network. And within digital assets, you've got really three buckets that we think of.
Now, I want to tell everybody there's some music playing here, and if this music ends up being copyrighted, I'm gonna have to cut it out of the video. So if I have to do that, the whole thing will play in my private group, and I'll post this in the private group, or no, I think I'll just play it on out.
One is crypto, the most famous, generates a lot of the headlines, where you have 10,000 plus different crypto assets today, of which Bitcoin is the original and remains today by far the largest, with a striking share of that market cap north of 50%. The second bucket, stable coins, where you take the...
See, this is where it gets important. What he's talking about, stable coins and tokenized assets, that is what this is all about. Bitcoin's just a bone that they threw the herd, okay? And I'm assuming they're going to allow it to live, and I'm also going to talk in daixrp.com about my position on owning Bitcoin, because I do own maybe a Bitcoin and a half, and I think it's important on the assumption that they're going to let Bitcoin live, and I do mean let, but we'll get into that in the private group.
Properties of digital assets of crypto in terms of ability to send them anywhere in the world in near real time at near zero cost in a digitally native, transparent way, and strip out some of the intrinsic volatility that exists today for crypto assets to make them more useful as a payment asset. And the third bucket, tokenized assets, the idea is you're taking real world assets.
You can't tokenize assets on Bitcoin. You can tokenize assets on the XRP ledger.
Or financial assets, and you're issuing the ownership record of those on a blockchain in digitally native format.
IOU.
I love the analogy about digital assets providing the ability of the movement of value, I think is what you said, the way the internet facilitated the movement of information. And thank you for that description. I think that helps categorize these various concepts. But if I'm an investor, what does this all actually mean? What part of what you mentioned actually matters to me as somebody looking at the markets?
I think sometimes it's tempting to look at this and say applications of blockchain technology, maybe Bitcoin or crypto was first, but there's going to be so many vast applications of blockchain that those will be irrelevant in the long arc of history. And I don't think that's quite correct. Bitcoin's been around for 15 years. The blockchain hype and institutional interest has been here for, let's say, 6-7 years. When we look at what are the things we couldn't solve before as a human society and economy, or that we did, but we did them in a really inefficient way. Now, through blockchain, we either solved that or we predominantly use blockchain to do it in a much more efficient way. The record so far is pretty thin. And the exceptions are really Bitcoin, Ethereum to some extent in a more early stage way, and stablecoins. So
I like what he just said there, Ethereum in a more early stage way.
Why is it significant? I think it's a really complex question. It's not well understood. The way to think about it is in three components, three problems that it solves, which are centuries old problems. And the first is payments in particular.
Who is it that's been talking about solving problems over and over and over on video? That would be Brad Garlinghouse.
Cross-border payments or moving.
We've been talking about cross-border payments.
Money across political jurisdictions. That has always been difficult. Domestic payments today, actually pretty easy, pretty efficient. A lot of countries have real-time digital payment networks, but cross-border is another story altogether.
You think BlackRock hired him out of nowhere to come to BlackRock to talk about Bitcoin that can't do it can't do 80 to 90% of what they're talking about doing with digital assets. All it can be is a store of value. So what is he talking? What's the other 85%, 90%, 95% of the recipe?
And if we go back a millennia to what was a very pioneering system in the Middle East, the Hawala system, that was how money moved across longer distances in that time. And how it worked was you went to a broker and you deposited something of value. They created a receipt that was then transmitted to another broker, let's say in the next village, who was connected to your broker. And they would pay out to some recipient something of value. And then the two brokers would periodically settle. It's an innovative system for the 9th century AD, but in fact, our cross-border payment system today looks a lot like that. If you're sending a wire or a money transmission, you're going to your bank or your money transmitter, you're depositing with them, and then they've got a relationship with their bank, and their bank has a relationship with the end recipient's bank, and at the end of it, someone at the other end gets their money. But in the process, you incur significant fees and time delays and frictions. And so that has not modernized really in centuries. When we think about the introduction of Bitcoin and digital assets, this idea of being able to move a digitally native asset globally across borders in near real time at near zero cost, that's an amazing breakthrough. The second piece is...
But who does that? At near zero cost, Bitcoin doesn't do it, Ethereum doesn't do it, XRP does it.
When we think about the predominant form that money lives in today, now for most of our history, money was either a commodity itself or coinage that had a linkage to commodity, whether directly or through convertibility. Today, the predominant form of money is as government-issued fiat currency. And that has all kinds of benefits in terms.
I'm going to play the rest of this in the member group at daixrp.com. I'm also going to talk to you about what are my thoughts on Bitcoin. I found a clip that tells you kind of, I really agree with, from a Bitcoin maxi, actually. It gives my thoughts on Bitcoin and how significant it is for you to hold some, okay? I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go. Let's listen to some more of this.